Namo Buddhaya. So, homage to our Supreme Buddha. Being so grateful to our Pinvat Loku Swamin Wahanse, we are here to talk about our supremely enlightened Buddha. To start our program, we will go for refuge to the Triple Chain and then observe the precepts. You can say with me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Homage to our most venerable Pinvat Loku Swamin Wahanse, our teacher Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya. So, to talk about our great Supreme Buddha, we are here to learn and make our minds faithful and learn many things about our Supreme Buddha. If you remember, we talk many things about our Mahabodhisattva, the Buddha to be, and we talk about his great enlightenment, and then we are here to talk about his knowledge and wisdom and the amazing compassion he had for the all living beings in the entire world. So today we have a beautiful lesson actually, according to the Maha Sihanada Sutta, the great discourse on the lion's robe. In that beautiful discourse, the Buddha explains himself 10 powers, the Tathagata, Dasa Balanyana. So our teacher Bhante Pinvat Loku Swamin Wahanse explains Tathagata Dasa Bala, the 10 powers of the Supreme Buddha, in this beautiful book, Acharya Manso. And then the translation we have here, the marvelous sage Buddha. We will learn about Tathagata Dasabalanyana. This is the amazing wisdom he gained seated under the Bodhi tree when he attained the Buddhahood, when he attained the great enlightenment. Dasabalanyana. This is how I share my screen today. The 10 powers of Tathagata, as in the Maha Sihanada Sutta, the great discourse on the lion's robe. This sutta, this discourse is available in Majjhima Nikaya, the middle length discourses of the Buddha. Mostly I get the information from this book of Loku Swamin Wahanse's translation and from Bhikkhu Bodhi Bhante's translations as well. So we will see the first power of the Tathagata. Tathagata is the name for the Supreme Buddha. So the Buddha has this amazing knowledge when he gained. So this is how he starts to describe about his knowledge and wisdom he gained under the Bodhi tree. The 10 powers of the Tathagata. And this, I think you can start this reading by... How about Sandesh? If you have any unknown words, don't worry about it. Keep reading.
10 powers of a Tathagata. Sariputta, the Tathagata, has these 10 Tathagatas, powers possessing which he claims the herd leader's place. Roars his lion's roar in the assemblies and sets rolling the wheel of Brahma. What are the 10?
Yes, what are the 10? And then the first one is this. Thana Thana Jnana. Can you read that word? This is the Pali word. Thana Thana Jnana. The power of knowing what is true and what is not. And then to read the next part of the lesson. Dima.
Okay, my son answer. Here the Tathagata understands as it really is, the possible as possible, and the impossible as impossible. And that is the Tathagata's power, that the Tathagata has by virtue of which he claims the herd leader's place, roars his lion's roar in the assemblies, and sets rolling the wheel of Brahma.
Sadhu sadhu. So that's the first power out of Dasa Bala, the 10 powers. What is it? The Tathagata. Tathagata is the name for the Supreme Buddha. Understands as it really is the possible and possible as possible, and the impossible as impossible. So, so this is how the Buddha explains this knowledge and wisdom to Venerable Sariputta, Arhat Bhante. And the Tathagata's power that the Tathagata has, by virtue of which he claims in teaching the Dhamma roars his lion's roar in the assemblies and sets rolling the wheels of Dhamma. So it's very clear that the Buddha had this amazing knowledge for himself, and he knows this is possible and this is impossible. And if someone follows the Noble Eightfold Path, definitely he or they can achieve the liberation of Nibbana. That's how he knows. And if someone does not follow the Dhamma, they are not able to follow, they are not able to achieve the Nibbana or the liberation. That's the possibilities and impossibilities. If someone can do something good, they can be reborn in good destination. If one does not, they cannot go to the good destinations after death. So possibilities and impossibilities. There are many information about this. Okay, so how do you pronounce that word again? Um, the first jnana of the Supreme Buddha, the first knowledge the Buddha gained. How do you say that? Thana, thana jnana. Thana jnana, the power of knowing what is true and what is not. And I want you to remember the first one as the Buddha explains. And we'll go to the second one. That is called Kamma Samadhana Jnana. This is the Pali word. Kamma Samadhana Jnana, the power of knowing karmic causality at work in the lives of all beings throughout past, present, and future. Karmic causality. You know, karmic is the karma or the karma, the actions of karma. According to the actions of karma, by body, speech, and mind, they can be born in different kinds of worlds. The Tathagata realized as it actually is the results of actions undertaken by beings of the world, by body, speech, and mind, past, future, and present, by of the place and causes. And then the information we have in the Maha Sihanada Sutta, we will give this opportunity to what about Manut and Kumit. Manut and Kumit.
Again, the Tathagata understands actually is the results of action undertaken, past, future, and present, by way of places and causes. That too is a Tathagata's power that the Tathagata has, by virtue of which he claims the herd leader's place, roars his lion's roar in the assemblies, and sets rolling the wheel of Brahma.
Sadhu, sadhu. He understands as it actually is the result of actions undertaken. So if someone does something good, they can be born in the good destination. So in the picture, maybe you understand that you can understand that the Buddha has that amazing wisdom, and the beings are born here and there according to the karma. So maybe in hell beings, maybe in ghost worlds, maybe in animal worlds, maybe in naga worlds or divine worlds. So the Buddha knows, and because of this knowledge the Buddha gained, he can speak to the world in all assemblies, and he sets in motion the wheel of Dhamma in this world in this world with devas, humans, brahmans, nagas, and the maras and everybody. And I want you to remember the name of the second Dasa Balanyana. Again, Kamma Samadhana Jnana. Kamma Samadhana. Kamma Samadhana means the possessing of Kamma, the causality of work in the lives of all beings. So, any questions about that? If you have, maybe we can talk more.
Answer.
Oh yes.
Can I read the next sentence?
Next sentence.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is the third. The third one. You're talking about third one.
Yeah.
Okay. Sabbatta Gamini Patipada Jnana. That's the Pali word. One more time. Sabbatta Gamini Patipada Jnana. The power of knowing the ways leading to all destinations. Sabbatta Gamini. Yes, your chance.
Sabbattagamini Patipada Jnana, the power of knowing the ways leading to our destination.
Right. This is the text you have.
Again, the Tathagata understands as it really is ways leading to all destinations. That too is a Tathagata's power that the Tathagata has, by virtue of which he claims the herd leader's place, roars his lions, roars in the assemblies, and sets rolling the wheel of Brahma.
Sadhu, sadhu. Do you see the picture of the Buddha was sitting, and someone is like claiming that like giving some kind of blames to the Supreme Buddha, the woman. Remember this story? Who know the name of this woman and what happened after? This is very good. This is okay. Chinchamanavika. What happened to the Chinchamanavika? Chinchamanavika. Anybody else to share this beautiful story? It's not a good story though.
She and then Gotsaka seat and got burned, and then Gotsaka saw that something bad was happening to the Buddha. So Gotsaka and his assembly turned into a group of rats. And then they started to eat the belly of the Chinchamanavika, because Chinchamanavika said that she's pregnant for just a lie. So then all the pillows and all those things stored up fell down in pieces, and then everyone saw that. So she began to run. So everyone hated her, and then when she took one step, she fell into the Avici Mahanaraka Niraya.
Very good, very good. That's the story. So the people of the other sects, they wanted to insult the Buddha. The Buddha is not virtuous. The Buddha has no good conduct of virtues. That's how they wanted to insult the Buddha and put down the frames of the Supreme Buddha. So they used Chinchamanika, remember? And then Chinchamanika is claiming the Buddha, giving some kind of the challenges Supreme Buddha. The baby in my womb is yours, they say. It's very, very bad and insult. So the god Sakka. So the people see the people are like, or even the king also surprised about this, and then, but the bad karma she collected was very, very serious, and she fell in Avici Mahanaraka, the hell called Avici, for the bad karma. But the Buddha knew about this bad karma she collected. But Buddha could not stop it, because that's the impurities of the mind of the people they have, and they collected bad merit, and then they suffer for that. So Tathagata, the Buddha, understand, he knows really well the ways leading to all this. So in insulting a Supreme Buddha is a very heinous karma, the bad karma. And for that bad karma, the beings suffer, being born in hell. So the Buddha knew that the Chinchamanavika will go to hell for this bad merit. But he did not stop it. He could not stop it. You understand that? There are many, many stories about this. Like all the beings collect good or bad karma, and the Buddha knows the result they experience for their karma, good or bad. Not only good, not only bad. This is called Kamma Samadana Jnana. Remember the, no, what is it called? Sabbatta Gamini Patipada. The rebirth according to the karma. Do you remember the first jnana the Buddha had? This is called, that was called, sorry,
Thana
Thana Jnana. And then the second one, the meaning, the power of knowing what is true and what is not. And then the second one,
Kamma Samadana
Kamma Samadana Jnana. And then the third one, we learn now,
Sabbati
Power of knowing
Gamini Patipada Jnana.
Sabbatta Gamini Patipada Jnana. The fourth power, the fourth jnana the Buddha possessed is Aneka Dhatu, Nana Dhatu Loka Jnana. Aneka Dhatu, Nana Loka Dhatu. Aneka means different. Nana is the same meaning. The various. Aneka means different. Nana means various. Dhatu means the elements. Loka Jnana. So the power of knowing the conditions of different elements of all beings. So deep, huh? Maybe Tinuli or Tuli we have here. Okay. Cordelia Divina is the next one who likes to read that. See again the picture. Do you see the picture? Anybody else can explain the picture or the story behind about the picture?
Bante, can I have the permission?
Yes.
Bante is I don't know the English term, a Paribrajika Brahmin woman named Sundari. The
other religious people killed her and buried behind the sandalwood trunk of the Buddha. Later told to the king, and they just went there and dug the body up and took it all over the city, telling that the Buddha and his people did these things. Their intention was to neglect the Buddha and the Sangha.
Hmm.
But it didn't work. After a week, the real thing was discovered by the people.
Yes, you're right. What was the lady's name again? The woman's name?
Sundari Bante, Brahmin Sundari.
Yeah, Sundari Parivrajika. Very good, very good. Sundari Parivrajika was killed by a group of people, and that's how they wanted to insult the Supreme Buddha again. But they were not successful in the ways actions. Okay, and then Cordelia and Divina are here to read the text.
Again, the Tathagata understands as it really is the world with its many and different elements. That too is a Tathagata's power that the Tathagata has by future of which he claims the herd leader's place, roars his lion roar in the assemblies, and the set rolling the wheel of Brahma.
Sadhu, sadhu, very good. So how do you understand the Buddha's knowledge from this text? The Buddha understands as it really is the world with its many different elements. The meaning of this, children, is according to the elements of the beings, they gather as groups. Good people gather together, bad people gather together. You know, in a class also, some people have very close friendships, and group of children we have in the classes because of their similarities of their behaviors. The Buddha said that this happens according to the elements of the people. If you remember, Devadatta had a group of people, group of Bhantes that has the same ideas, same behaviors, same attitudes. Remember? And Venerable Sariputta Bhante had a group of Bhantes had the same qualities. Like they are very good in the wisdom. They are very good has the improving their knowledge and the wisdom. And Venerable Mahamukkalana Bhante had a group of Bhantes, and they are very good in their psychic potencies because that Bhante was foremost in psychic potencies. Do you remember? And then Venerable Mahakassapa Arahant Bhante had a group of Bhantes, like they gathered around that Bhante. All the Bhantes were very good in their virtuous behaviors, maybe also austere practices and as well. And according to their the behaviors, they gather together. Like the Chintamanavika had a group of people that has the same ideas, same qualities, same attitudes, and then the other people also had the same qualities. Good people collect together, and bad people collect different. So different kinds of people gather in groups according to their attitudes, according to their likings. This is called the elements. This happens according to the elements we have. We say, the Buddha says, this is called the dhatu condition. So the knowledge of the world with its many different elements. So the senses of the eye, ear, nose, etc. are the type of elements. Earth, water, heat, wind are also type of elements. That's how the Lokusami Nasi explains in the book. Superiority and inferiority are also the type of elements. The good and evil natures in people are also type of elements. Strengths and weaknesses are also type of elements. The elements of sensual desire and other elements are also type of elements. The elements of renunciation and other wholesome things conducive to liberation are also type of elements. In this way, the Buddha realized as they actually are, the manifold different type of elements. Huh? So the Buddha has that amazing wisdom and knowledge to know about these elements in the world. And from this explanation, I want you to remember the name of the Buddha Tathagata power. Huh? This is called Aneka Dhatu, Nana Dhatu, Loka Jnana. We will go to the fifth one. Can you read the word of Pali? Nanadi Muttika Jnana. Nanadi Muttika Jnana. Try to read the word Nanadi Muttika Jnana, the fifth one. The knowledge of the different qualities of beings. And then what about Dhyana to read? Read about the Nanadi Muttika Jnana. Okay, do you remember this picture? Who is sitting nearby the Bhante asking for something else? Anybody else is there to explain about the story?
අවසරයි බන්තේ
Okay.
Bante is Venerable Sariputta before becoming a bhikkhu.
Yeah, very good. Who is the Bhante then, the sitting near the tree?
Bante is Attagi Bante.
Very good.
Bante, the lay name of Venerable Sariputta was Upatissa, while lay name of Venerable Moggallana was Kolika.
Very good. And this is Venerable Sariputta Arhan Bhante before his ordination. You're right. And he is wandering looking for the good Dhamma to understand. And he meets this Bhante Asaji and he sits and he questions, who is your teacher? What's the good Dhamma he preaches? And with one Gatha, maybe with 2 stanzas of the first Gatha, the verse, he had his wisdom to attain the first the stage of the enlightenment, becoming Sotapanna, the stream entrance. So this is how he developed the wisdom in the samsara. Dhyana is ready.
Again, the Tathagata understands as it really is the diverse attitudes and sentient beings. That too is a Tathagata's power that the Tathagata has, by virtue of which he claims the herd leader's place, bars his lion's roar in the assemblance, and sets rolling the wheel of Brahma.
Very good, sadhu sadhu. One more time. The Buddha had this wisdom to understand the diverse attitude of sentient beings. So when the Buddha sees the Venerable Sariputta, he knows this is a good person who will become the foremost in the wisdom or something else. So according to the understanding of the people, the Buddha preaches his Dhamma to the person to understand that. That's an amazing knowledge the Buddha had. Any questions about that? I want you to remember the jnana or the wisdom which is called Nanadhimuttika jnana.
Sorry, answer. What does sentient mean?
The living beings. Being. Sentient beings. The beings. You ready to move? The next, the sixth one. Indriya Paro Pariyatta Jnana. I want you to read that. Indriya Paro Pariyatta. The power of knowing the maturity of the spiritual faculties of all beings. How do you explain that? How do you pronounce that? Indriya Paro Pariyatta Jnana. Okay, someone else to explain the story.
Can I explain this? Okay. I think this is the Angulimala story.
Yes.
Yes.
And the story goes like?
Mala was trying to get one last finger, and he saw the Buddha, and he was trying to kill him.
Why?
Because he wanted another finger.
Someone is coming near behind the bushes or something. You see that picture? The picture?
That's Angulimala's mom.
Angulimala's mom. Why she's coming?
To stop Angulimala from killing the Buddha.
Okay. Okay. Yes, you can read the text.
Again, the Tathagata understands as it really is maturity of the spiritual faculties of other beings, other persons, that too is the Tathagata's power, that the Tathagata has by virtue of which he claims the herd leader's place. Roars as lions roar in the assemblies and sets rolling of the wheel of Brahma.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. The Blessed One could quickly realize the maturity of a person's spiritual faculties of faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. He could ascertain thereby the extent to which they would help him or her to attain liberation. So even though Angulimala was a cruel person who kills thousands of people to collecting the fingers, to give the puja to his teacher, he had the power, the ability to attain the liberation of Nibbana. So the Buddha knew that this person is capable to understand if he has the good Dhamma of the Buddha. So taking the time, Buddha visits this man with a sword in his hand and tamed him and gave him the ordination and gave him the good Dhamma of the Buddha, and he practiced, and he was lucky to attain the liberation of Nibbana. So that's how the Buddha understands of the people's faculties, which means the faith and the other things that they have grown, they have developed throughout the samsara, throughout their rebirths in the future lives. That knowledge of the Supreme Buddha is called again Indriya Paro Pariyatta Jnana. Indriya Paro Pariyatta Jnana. According to this Indriya Paro Pariyatta Jnana, the Buddha preaches his Dhamma for other people. So even though there are thousands of people around, Buddha knew that this person is capable to understand the Dhamma, and he preaches Dhamma to the certain person. There are many stories about that. That's called Indriya Paro Pariyatta Jnana. So we go furthermore, and then this is the seventh one. Jnana Vimukta Samadhi Samapatti Jnana. Jnana Vimokha or Vimoksha. Jnana Vimokha Samadhi Samapatti Jnana. It's a long word. Don't worry about that. The power of knowing the jhanas, liberations. states of concentration, and meditative attainments. This will go to okay, Yenuki.
Again, the Tathagata understands it as it actually is, the defilement, the cleansing, and the rise in regard to the jhanas, liberations, concentrations, and attainments. That too is a Tathagata's power that the Tathagata has, by virtue of which he claims the herd leader's place, roars his lion's roar in the assemblies, and sets rolling the wheel of Brahma.
Sadhu, sadhu. Right, Joyce. So the Buddha knows that this is the perfect way if someone achieves the jhanas or some kind of stages of the jhanas. Jhanas are the stages of concentration, the stages of the meditative attainments. Jhana, first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, like that. The Buddha explains that about the levels of concentration. And if someone is virtuous, that's a good quality that he qualifies for the jhanas or the attainments of the concentration, something like that. If someone has no restraining of the faculties, they are not capable to practice the meditation and they are not able to achieve any kind of jhanas. So this is something the Buddha explains. If you know the story of the picture, anybody else, who is the Bhante who is sitting and taking a piece of advice from the Supreme Buddha? Do you know that Bhante? This Bhante lived in a faraway village, and he went taking a piece of advice from the Supreme Buddha, practice the jhanas and attain the Nibbana too. Yes, anybody else?
Is this Dhammika Samanta?
It's a good try, but he's not. They say this Bhante lived in Sunaparanta. Do you know the name then?
Also, Bhante is Bhante Punna.
Sunaparanta Punna Bhante. Yes, yes. Punna Bhante is taking the Dhamma of the Supreme Buddha. And if you remember the story, the Buddha said that Punna, the people in Sunaparanta are cruel. They will insult you, they will hit you, they will kill you, they will destroy your life, and many things Buddha said. And the Bhante, Sunaparanta Bhante, he is not an enlightened Bhante then. And he said, if they hit me, Bhante, I will grow my patience. I will have my kindness to the people, because they will not kill me. In this way, they are good people, and I have my metta for them. That's how he practiced the Dhamma. And then the Buddha said, if they kill, how do you think about them? How do you feel? So do you have any poor feeling for them? Then the Punna Bhante said, no, Bhante. If they kill me, I will be killed peacefully. I will be killed peacefully, because all the people are subject to death. And then I will be killed. This is my karma or something. So that's how he practiced his Dhamma. And he was very capable to attain the jhanas, attain the meditative statements, and he was able to understand fully the Dhamma of the Supreme Buddha, being in a very far away village of Sunaparanta. Not only that, he helped 500 people to attain the Nibbana. He lived for 2 years in the Sunaparanta village and had his final liberation. It's a beautiful story, huh? So we are here to talk about the 8 wisdom, 8 knowledge of the Supreme Buddha. This is called Pubbe Nivasanussati Jnana. Pubbe Nivasanussati Jnana, power of knowing the recollection of past lives. That's maybe everyone knows about this jnana. And what about Peter?
Again, the Tathagata recollects his various past lives. That is 1 birth, 2 births, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 1,000, 100,000 births, many eons of the world contracting, many eons of the world expanding, many eons of the world contracting and expanding. Thus, with their aspects and particulars, he recollects his manifold past lives. That too is the Tathagata's power, that the Tathagata has, by virtue of which he claims the herd leader's place, roars his lion's roar in the assemblies, and sets rolling the wheel of Brahma.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. What was the 8th knowledge of the Supreme Buddha? Pubbe Nivasanussati Jnana, the recollection of the past lives. How? All. So the lives of that 1 birth, 2 births, 3 births, thousands of millions of births, eons and eons and eons, he could see the past lives. This was my name, this was his name, and this was the food they ate, this was the place they lived, many information. He can think about that, he can see, he can talk about that, he can, that was a clear, the visual of the Supreme Buddha. And that was a beautiful knowledge, an amazing knowledge the Buddha had. This knowledge is called, again, Pubbe Nivasanussati Jnana. What was that? Pubbe Nivasanussati Jnana, the power of knowing the recollection of past lives of beings. We will go to the next one, the 7th one. What about the 7th one? This is called Chutupapata Jnana. What is it? Chutupapata Jnana, the power of knowing the passing away and rebirths of all beings. When someone dies with some kind of defilements that they are supposed to be born again, they are reborn again somewhere else according to their karmas. This is the knowledge the Buddha had, and the text is this, to read by Ravinda Silva.
Okay. Again, with the divine eye, which is purified and surpasses the human, the Tathagata sees beings passing away and reappearing, inferior and superior, fair and ugly, fortunate and unfortunate, and he understands how being passed on according to their actions. And that too is a Tathagata's power that the Tathagata has, by virtue of which he claims the herd leader's place, roars his lion's roar in the assemblies, and sets rolling the wheel of Brahma.
Sadhu, sadhu, very good. So this is called again, if you remember the name, Chutupapata Jnana. Chutupapata Jnana. And the meaning, he can see the beings are born, passing away, and the rebirth. So this is called again Dibba Chakku Jnana as well. Dibba Chakku, which means the divine eye. With that divine eye, the Buddha can see the beings die and they are born. Many beings, or any beings. The 10th one, Asava Khaya Jnana. Asava is a word for defilement or taint. So Asava Khaya means the destruction of defilements or destruction of taints. The power of knowing the destruction of all defilements. When he is freed from all destructions, he knew that all defilements, he knew that he is freed, he is liberated, he attained the Nibbana, and when other people also attain the Nibbana or attain the liberation, Buddha knows that they are freed from their defilements. They are freed from asavas, asavakkhaya jnana. Buddha know the ways of attaining the asavakkhaya too. This text is given to, how about Oneth?
And my Swaminathan said,
Yes.
again, by realizing for himself with direct knowledge, the Tathagata here and now enters upon and abides in the deliverance of mind and deliverance by wisdom that are taintless with the destruction of the taints. That too is the Tathagata's power, that the Tathagata has by virtue of which he claims the herd leader's place, roars his lion roar in the assemblies, and sets rolling the wheel of Brahma.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. He knows that he is freed from all the sufferings by the defilements. So if you remember the picture, the story of the picture, maybe I can give someone else to explain the story. What was the story again?
Bante, it's about three daughters of the Mara. Bante trying to distract the Buddhas from the meditation.
Yes, they came and they wanted to disturb the Buddha, to stop his meditation, to stop his liberation, but he is not liberated now. The Buddha is not a Buddha; he is still the Bodhisattva, but he had that the restraining. So the Buddha controlled his all the faculties, and by the power of the good merit he had, the knowledge, he was not trapped by these daughters of Mara. When he attained the Buddhahood, he had the knowledge that he is freed from all defilements, and that's then another knowledge, maybe the 10th knowledge, which is called asavakkhaya jnana, is not with the defilements or taints again. We understand that? Okay, next we will recall the names of the 10 powers the Buddha had according to the Mahasihanada Sutta. What was the first knowledge the Buddha had, if you remember, in Pali? Anybody else?
Antanana.
Again?
Tanana.
Yes. Thana jnana. Again, everybody?
Thana
jnana. And then the second one, power of knowing what is true, what is not. And then the second jnana the Buddha had, Kami? What was that? Kamma samadhana jnana, the power of knowing karmic causality at work in the life of all beings throughout past, present, and future. And then the third knowledge, third wisdom he had was, anybody else? Yeah, Sabbattagamini Patipada. Yeah, the power of knowing the ways of leading to all destinations. The beings are born. And then the fourth jnana, fourth wisdom.
Also, Bante, is it Aneka Dhatu, Nana Dhatu, Loka? Yeah.
Yes, Aneka Dhatu, Nana Dhatu, Loka jnana. Aneka dhatu, nana dhatu, loka jnana. About the world, the conditions of elements, different kind of various kinds of elements. And then the fifth one, anybody else? You remember? The fifth jnana the Buddha had.
Aneka.
Yeah, the fifth one, Pute.
Oh, I don't remember the fifth.
You remember? What is it?
Nana Dimuttika Gnana.
Nana Dimuttika Jnana, the power of knowing the different qualities of all beings. Nana Dimuttika. And then the sixth one.
Indriya Paropariyat Jnana.
Indriya Paropariyat Jnana. Very good. Indriya Paropariyat Jnana. The maturity of the spiritual faculties of all beings. If you have developed your faculties, the Buddha knows that, and Buddha preaches them in the seventh. Oh, Jhana Vimokka Samadhi Samapatti Jnana. About the jhanas, liberations, states of concentration, and meditative attainments. Eighth one. Yes. Yeah. What is it? Good. Pubbe Nivasanussati Jnana. The power of knowing the recollection of past lives. And then the ninth one, Senon. Ninth. Yes? Chatupapata Jnana. The passing away and rebirths of all beings. And then the 10th one, Asavakkaya Jnana, the destruction of all defilements. These are the 10 powers of the Tathagata. I want you to remember these 10 powers of Tathagata. With these 10 powers, the Buddha preaches his Dhamma to the entire world. The Buddha became foremost in his wisdom to the entire universe, and he preaches the Dhamma. He gave his lion's roar to the world with setting in motion the wheel of Dhamma. So this is how our teacher, the supremely enlightened teacher, the Buddha, understood his Dhamma and gave his amazing Dhamma for the world beings to understand and to be free from all the sufferings in the rebirth. So I hope you had a good collection of information about our Supreme Buddha, and may this wonderful knowledge be very supportive to you to develop your Shraddha, grow in your confidence, and to develop your Dhamma path and to attain the ultimate bliss of Nirvana very soon, this Gautama Buddha's decision. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May this wonderful merit be dedicated to our teacher Bhante. May he be fortunate to understand the noble truths very soon in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.